To be mothered and tended to is part and parcel of what it means to acknowledge Mother Earth and acknowledge that you're part and parcel of the connection to the Great Mother. How do you receive from the Great Mother, and how do you lean on the Great Mother to allow for her to hold you? For some of us, we didn't receive the mothering that we needed, and for some of us, we still don't receive the mothering that we needed. For some of us, we lost our mothers, and for others of us, we never had contact with our mothers from the beginning. Some of us find ourselves in a nourishing relationship with our mother at some times, and others of us find ourselves in a completely and utterly beautiful relationship with our mothers. It still doesn't mean that you can't allow for yourself to acknowledge what it means to be connected to women, the Great Mother, and anything else beyond. You are part of the cosmos. You are part of this mothering space. You are part of being a woman in today's society, and you are interconnected. This is how and why we feel so deeply others' experiences and pain and discomfort. This is why when we hear another woman's story, sometimes we can find ourselves in an emotional response. We are deeply connected. We have to acknowledge what it means to be at one with Mother Earth and to come into practice and to delve deeper into what it means to be held by the Great Mother. So let's just contemplate what that might look like through practices. When it comes to practices, we really love to send down a grounding cord in my space. We send down a grounding cord into the earth, and you'll find that I cue that through two of the videos in this course. One video is coming into the somatics of the body and tending to the body, and another video is tending to the fascia within the vagina. You can come back to that practice of sending down your grounding cord at any moment, at any time, on the regular. I like to do that when I'm making a cup of tea. I like to do that when I go for a swim in the sea. And I like to do that when I'm going for a walk. If you're out walking and you're there and you're allowing yourself to be tended to by the Great Mother, just send down that grounding cord. Another way I like to acknowledge that I'm part and parcel of the Great Mother is through my seasons and aware that I'm a cyclical being. And so this season that you're in is only ever temporary, the same as the seasons of the Great Mother. How do you lean on that? I talk a lot about this in my work. I talk a lot about this in containers that I run and on a one-to-one. There's so many layers to this. But on a basic level, how are you acknowledging that this is just a simple basic season that you're in? Not basic in terms of it's basic, but in terms of that it is a season, it's short, it won't last, and you will move on to another season, just like Mother Earth. Another way is acknowledging how I tend to Mother Earth in the way that she tends to me. She holds me and reminds me that everything is cyclical, that I'm seasonal, and that I'm in this very small season of my life. By blooming without fail, she is my anchor. She reminds me spring is coming. She reminds me of the summer. She reminds me that I am always held, that I'm always there when she blows her wind, when she has the rain and I clear and cleanse. She reminds me that she's the anchor that I never receive myself. So therefore, I can lean on her and remind myself that she is always there, unwavering. And then I also support her in return by ensuring that I'm as eco as possible, where I don't utilize chemicals in my home, where I also try to tend to the earth and the soil within my own garden, where I tend to house plants and try to bring as much oxygen as possible into my home, and where I teach my children how to look after Mother Earth. There are some very small things, of course, there, but it is really part and parcel of the overarching vision that I have for allowing myself to be at one with the earth, and she is at one with me. So how do you utilize that mothering energy that exists there for you at any given moment, at any given time? Maybe you're somebody who tunes into the moon and you're acknowledging the full moon and the new moon, and you're acknowledging how that interacts with you and your ability to navigate the day, especially when there's that like real full moon or new moon energy. There are so many ways to tune in. I'm just planting seeds. How do you check in with yourself and feel held and grounded by Mother Earth? Sending love.